They say money can't buy taste, but that's never stopped some people from trying. Today we're going to be looking at an ego project that would make Donald Trump blush with embarrassment. It's a palace so luxurious that it cost the Sultan of Brunei about half of his personal net worth. A home so bedecked in golden splendor that state-of-the-art security monitoring and an army of guards are needed to ensure that guests and employees don't walk off with souvenirs like solid gold door handles, priceless Renaissance masterpieces, or one of over 160 supercars. This is the ludicrous home of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the Istana Nurul Iman, the single largest and most expensive private residence in the world. Are you looking for a way to stay educated and entertained at the same time? Look no further than Blinkist, a revolutionary app that allows you to understand the most important things from over 5,500 non-fiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. With a variety of content in 27 different categories and a bite-sized format, Blinkist is perfect for you fitting education into your busy lifestyle. The top-notch audio experience is especially great for listening on the go, whether you're going for a run or commuting to work. If you're looking for a specific recommendation from me, I definitely recommend checking out the book Anti-Fragile. It's a book I read years ago, and they have, how long was it? 19 minutes or 11 blinks. And it was amazing how much I remembered about the book just from listening to the 19 minutes that they have on here. Fantastic way to remember old books, learn from books that you don't have time to read. In 2023, make it your goal to become the person you want to be, and let Blinkist be your guide. With tailored content and exclusive personality-driven experiences, Blinkist can help you achieve your goals, whether they are becoming a better parent, a smarter communicator, a more impactful team member, or a savvier investor. With curated collections and expert-led guides, you can grow a little more every day. And now with Blinkist Connect, every Blinkist premium plan can be shared by 2 different accounts at no additional cost. Invite a friend or family member to join your plan and enjoy all the benefits of Blinkist premium access together. Take advantage of their limited time offer and get 25% off Blinkist Premium with 2 memberships for the price of 1. Start your 7-day free trial by clicking the link in the description box below and start learning and growing today. Sometimes big things come in little packages. That's certainly true of the tiny, oil-rich nation of Brunei. Composed of 2 tiny enclaves reaching from the Bay of Brunei to about 60 kilometers inland on the island of Borneo, Malaysia, this tiny nation has a surprisingly long history of independence dating back to the 14th century. The Sultanate was once a major regional power whose world-class navy oversaw an empire that spanned modern-day Malaysia and Indonesia. It was a conservative Muslim regime that promoted the spread of Islam throughout Southeast Asia. By 1888, Brunei had become a British protectorate, finally regaining its independence in 1959. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the reigning monarch, arose to power in 1967 as the eldest son and heir of Sultan Amar Ali Saifuddin III. As Sultan, Bolkiah developed and modernized his small kingdom, establishing universal healthcare and a social safety net. He has also worked to strengthen the country's relationship with other nations and has played a leading role in regional organizations such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Brunei's rich oil and gas reserves have made its sovereign wealth fund among the richest in the world, with assets of almost $200 billion. That's just about a fifth of the size of Norway's $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund, but Brunei's population is less than a tenth of the size, meaning that the country has about $500,000 in wealth for every single person. Only uber-rich Middle Eastern kingdoms like Qatar and Kuwait are richer per capita. This wealth is invested in the international financial markets as well as in luxury properties like the Beverly Hills Hotel and the Dorchester Hotel in London. None of these properties, however, hold a candle to the crown jewel of the Sultan's empire, the Istana Nurul Iman. Located in the capital city of Bandar Seri Begawan, the Istana Nurul Iman, or the Light of Faith Palace, is purported to be the largest private residence in the world. Designed by Filipino architect Leandro V. Locsin and completed in 1984, it covers an area of over 200,000 square meters. That's 2.2 million square feet, which is about half the size of the entirety of Vatican City. The palace features 1,788 rooms, 257 bathrooms, a banquet hall with seating for 5,000 people, 2 mosques, air-conditioned stables for the Sultan's 200 polo horses, 5 luxurious swimming pools, and 110 underground garages. That's not a 110 car garage, that's 110 separate garages containing upwards of 17,000 cars. The banquet hall features a throne that is covered by its own freestanding roof, itself the size of a 2-story building. Surrounding the palace is a moat that includes a floating ceremonial throne accessible by a private walkway. Wow, dude, okay. Vast terraces of gardens and greenhouses cover the tops of many of the structures, and a huge park with pagodas and ponds flanks the property. The palace and its contents are said to have cost the Sultan as much as half of his personal wealth of at least $40 billion. The halls of the palace are aligned with classic works by painters like Renoir, Picasso, and Monet. Of the Sultan's 17,000 vehicles, he's rumoured to have 500 Rolls-Royces, 200 Bugattis, and 5 McLaren F1s, along with a menagerie of classic cars worth upwards of $6 billion. He also maintains a private zoo with 30 Bengal tigers and other rare exotic animals like cockatoos trained to play basketball and ride bicycles, because of course, that's how you'd spend $20 billion. And yes, he does own a solid gold Rolls-Royce because, as we've long known on this channel, the rich apparently truly have no imagination whatsoever. If you'd like to get a peek at how the Sultan lives, you're largely out of luck. The grounds of the palace are only ever open to the public on the Sultan's birthday and on the National Day of Brunei. Visitors will get to see some of the grounds and a few of the interior halls, but little else. However, official photographs reveal a ridiculously opulent interior of gold-woven carpets, diamond fixtures, including 564 chandeliers, Italian marble, and even solid gold decorative tiles. The palace is said to contain over 50,000 light bulbs, 44 stairwells, and 18 elevators. While photos of the vast interior of the palace are few and far between, there was someone who recreated the entire palace in Minecraft for the public to enjoy. The unreal vastness of the palace is fitting for a computer game where anything is possible. Visitors to the public parts of the palace enter through a room that's big enough to be an international airport. Through the first atrium, they enter a vestibule with seating for hundreds of guests. Hall after hall, one more glamorous than the next, leads to the official throne room, where the Sultan sits high above the rest under a golden gazebo. The Sultan takes luxury more seriously, possibly than anybody else on Earth, and his extravagance is not limited to his incredible properties, cars, and other toys. He has also been known to host exclusive performances by world-renowned performers like Michael Jackson, who performed for Bolkiah at least 3 times. Whitney Houston was contracted to sing at his daughter's wedding for a fee of $7 million. He also reportedly spends over $20,000 every time he gets his hair cutting, including the cost of flying his private stylist from London in a first-class suite. Considering that Bolkiah's wealth grows by about $100 per second, these sorts of expenses probably don't cause him that much concern. Of course, why would anyone who owns the most expensive private residence in the world ever travel? Well, in a sense, he never really leaves the luxury of his palace. Instead, he takes it with him in his own custom-built Boeing 747, which rivals Air Force One for luxury, comfort, and security. This flying palace, more an extension of the palace than a plane, is only the largest of 3 passenger jets that the Sultan owns, with the other 2 being Airbus A340s. The 747, worth at least $100 million and decorated at a cost of at least $120 million, features gold and crystal fixtures, a private bedroom with a mirror in the ceiling, a banquet and meeting room on board allowing 14 people to enjoy a meal in individually heated or cooled seats, and all of that is separate from the Sultan's own private dining room and his own private lounge. The Istana Nurul Iman is not just a private residence, although it is that as well. It also functions as the seat of the Brunei government, as well as the official residence of the country's prime minister, who also happens to be the Sultan. It is further a place of pilgrimage and worship for over 100,000 visitors a year, who are permitted to enter the palace during a 3-day celebration of the Sultan's birthday, as well as during 10 days of Ramadan. Guests are fed and given small green packages filled with cash gifts for their children. It may be this last detail that helps explain why this tiny kingdom continues to tolerate an absolute monarch who lives in such incredible luxury. Bolkiah is largely beloved, despite ruling the country with an iron fist. In 2006, for example, he amended the country's constitution to make himself infallible under the law. He serves as the country's prime minister, its minister of defense, and of foreign affairs, as well as finance. which is convenient. In addition, of course, he's the head of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, an honorary general of the British and Indonesian Armed Forces, and an honorary admiral of the Royal Navy. The Sultan also has appointed himself Inspector General of the country's police force. The Sultan maintains his power through generous and continual gifts of money and the funding of public works for the people of Brunei. He also achieves ultimate control of the country through a vast and complex system of official patronage and corruption overseen by him and members of his family. His brother, Jeffrey Bokia, was formerly in charge of a network of companies and investments, including the luxury goods company Asprey, and he was responsible for building a free amusement park for the people of Brunei. Jeffrey Bokia was denounced in 2000 for misappropriating state funds, causing the investment fund he oversaw to collapse under $10 billion of debt. As much as $40 billion had been misallocated over the course of 15 years, although at least some of that money ended up in the Sultan's hands. There's no income tax in Brunei, and it scores second after Singapore on the Human Development Index. This is mostly thanks to the oil-rich government being the country's largest employer. 5% of employee salaries are also put into employee trust funds managed by the state, which has made Brunei's workers among the richest in the world in terms of retirement savings. Only 5% of the country is believed to live in poverty, a testament to the relative success and stability of the dictatorial oil regime. And just before you leave, just a reminder that today's video is brought to you by Blinkist. Check them out through the link in the description below. And thanks for watching.